Hey guys, I'm Natalie. Welcome to today's workout. We're going to kick it off with our 2-minute warm-up. You won't need any hand weights for the warm-up, but keep them close by because we will need them for round 1. So take a nice wide stance, feet facing out to the corners of the room, and a mini squat tap. And I want you to put your hands on the midsection and let your tummy loose and floppy and let your torso kind of flop forward. Now engage the abs and feel your midsection, feel your core lifting up your spine and supporting it, and pull yourself up through the crown of the head. So you want everything from your diaphragm to the pelvic floor in the midsection supporting that spine, and that's where you're going to stay the whole time we're working out today. All right guys, I want you to do a butt kick and pull down, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Nice wide stance. Try and kick that butt if you can. So we're just going to ease ourselves into it, and then as we get into the high intensity interval training component, you're going to try and get your heart rate between 80 to 90% of your maximum. Bring it into knee to elbow. Don't try and hunch over to get it there. Just bring it as close as you can. Stay here if you don't want to jump around. Otherwise, add a little hop. So guys, for any move that has a jumping component, you'll get a low impact option. So you're still going to get a phenomenal workout with your feet not leaving the ground. Well, not at the same time anyway. Let's do a few more. 3, 2, and 1. Back to that wide stance. Squat and squeeze those glute cheeks. So every time we squat, I want that butt to go back and the back just pivots forward, and squeeze on the way up. So you don't want to bring your knees forward. The butt comes back. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Just shuffle on the spot. I'm going to show you the very first move. Does not require hand weights, but you need them for the next after that. Shoulder width stance. Squat and squeeze. Option to jump on the second one. So squat and squeeze. Your jump can be small or it can be big. Hands behind the head. Squat back. Squeeze those glute cheeks together. Option to jump. Now your jump can be nice and small or it can be high. Just go at your own pace. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing or even what you did yesterday. You're going to feel different every day, guys. Okay, hip distance apart, slight bend to the knees, pivot forward, palms facing in, side taps with a hammer curl. Just alternating side tap, and if you like, let's pick up the pace. Keep it slow and deliberate if you like. We are pivoting forward at the hips. You're not hunched over. Back is long and flat. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Rest and watch. Rear lunge, left leg. Left arm comes forward into a front raise. Then the knee comes up and your right arm comes into a front raise. Here we go. So drive that knee up, or you can just tap if the knee up's too much. Every time we're standing on one leg, we need the core to work out a little bit more for our balance, which I'm losing. And we're working this standing leg a little bit more. Switching arms, switching legs. So don't bring the leg straight back, remember. Tuck this hip and keep a 90-degree bend in that knee. Okay, back, knee up. So the lunge is for the glute and the quad of this front leg. As you come out of the lunge, put all the weight through this front heel, through this front foot. Stand up into it with a nice tall back. All right guys, we'll rest and watch. Small V, start in a bicep curl position. Diagonal rear lunge, knee up with an option to jump on an overhead press. So you can jump it, you can just do a knee up, or you can tap. Or you might want to choose to do one knee up and one jump. Just look at your heart rate monitor if you're wearing one, or get a general feel for how hard you're working. You may not need to do the jump. We're going to do the opposite side. So dropping hands on the inside, knee up with an overhead press. Here we go. Drop them down. Option to either jump, knee up, or overhead press, or tap. My head's not in it. All right guys, a few more. After this, grab your mat. We're going to do tricep push-ups. put the weights aside. All right, guys, hand weights to one side. I'm going to do them on my knees. Feel free to go up on your feet. Tuck the hips under and squeeze the glutes. Hands under shoulders. I want you to really feel the elbows sliding against the torso, coming straight up and back behind you. So they're not out, they're coming straight behind you. Find a spot on the floor in front of you and focus on that. All right, guys, from here, stay in this position. Tuck the hips under. We're going to walk our hands out and back. So you can either stay here or come up on your toes with the hips tucked under. So walk out for 4 and then back for 4. Hands come back under the shoulder. We're really engaging our core. So you can either do this on your knees or up on your toes and back. And one more. Okay, hold it out. So guys, just showing you don't want your butt up here. You want your hips tucked under to protect that lower back. Mat aside. One hand weight for round 2. Rest and watch. Side lunge. Option to jump. Rear step and together. So we are stepping back this time. The hip is not tucked under. Side lunge. Option to jump. Step back together. Side. You can just do a knee up. Step back together. Or your third option is just to tap. So the other hand is mimicking what the hand is doing for balance. So we're going to come down, option to jump, step back with a straight leg and step together. Here we go. Down, option to jump, step back together. Back is nice and long and flat, not hunched over. Remember guys, you don't have to jump, you can just tap and together. Whoops. All right, we did half of one. Okay, weight in your left hand. Imaginary step in front of you. Up and around to a big deep squat together with an upright row. Arm goes around, leg goes around and together. So it's an arm circle, leg circle, step together with an upright row. So that butt and the hips are going back as you sit deep into that wide squat. Let's do one more. All right, guys, so I'll show you on this side. So we're coming up and around, and the butt is going back, and we're really sitting into it. And then stepping together with that upright row. Here we go. So there's an imaginary step or a block in front of you, and you want to get your foot up and over the top of it. Back is tall. Oops. Around. A few more. One more. All right, fighting with my headset today, guys. Small V. Stepping back with your right foot. Down with the tricep extension. Here we go. Bring it down. Squeeze that tricep. Now either balance that back foot on the ground, lift it off the ground slightly, or squeeze using your right glute cheek and really lift this back leg. So the curtsy is for this front glute, but by taking all our body weight off the other leg and onto this front leg, we're going to make this cheek work a little bit more. So step back into it. So either just rest the back foot on the ground, lift it slightly, or if you like, let's make this other left glute cheek do a little bit of work too, and squeeze it up. Squeeze. Come on, guys. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Well done. All right, guys. Fix my mic. So weight over your left shoulder, right hip is going to come, right knee is going to come up to the opposite corner of the room. Your right elbow is coming down next to your right hip. Let's do a few more. You can pick up the pace if you like, or keep it nice and slow and deliberate. 2, 1. Guys, we're switching sides. Here we go. So weight over your right shoulder, coming down next to your left hip. Here we go. Your left knee is going up into the opposite corner. Abs are engaged. standing leg has a slight bend in it. We're working that leg. We're working our shoulders. We're working our core. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Halfway there, guys. Grab a drink. We are simply repeating rounds 1 and 2. You get a second chance to work all those muscles out. Remember the first move, hip or shoulder distance squat. Squat and squeeze. Squat, option to jump the second one. Here we go. Squat and squeeze. Now guys, in the second half, you may not need to work out as much to keep your heart rate elevated at 80 to 90% of your max. So just stick with the squat and squeeze or lower the jump, just a little jump. All right guys, grab those hand weights. Feet hip distance apart. Bend the knees, pivot forward. Hands facing in bicep curl position. Side taps. Stay right here if you like. Or let's pick up the pace. Round 2 on the home stretch. So guys, listen to your body. If you're not feeling it, just take it slow. 2, 1. Remember, you get points just for turning up. All right, guys, we're going to do that rear lunge with the front arm raise, switching arms as the knee comes up. Shoulders are back and down. So you can either do a knee up, or if that's too hard on the balance, just tap. There is nothing wrong with that, especially if you're getting tired and wobbly. Just tap it. Just focus on driving up that back leg using the heel of the front leg. So as we come back and step out of it, we're really focusing on driving our weight through this front leg, through the foot. Here we go. Back and up. Abs are in, back is up tall. And guys, the rest is just as important as the high intensity intervals. It's the fluctuation in oxygen intake, up, down, that helps your cells become better adapted to burning fat. So take the rest seriously. Start in bicep curl position. Dropping down. Here we go. I'm going to do 1 and 1. I'm going to do 1 knee up and 1 jump. Feel free to do all knee ups or all jumps, or you can just tap it. But I'm feeling it, and I forgot the overhead press. So when I practice these, I'm going back into that corner, guys, down and up. I've been doing it with the rest and no speaking in between. Sorry, I forgot I was doing 1 and 1. So my heart rate is about 85 to 90% of my max when I'm practicing, when I'm working out and talking and not getting the rest. Do half one. Tricep push-ups. I find that my heart rate is like right now closer to 95% of my max. Okay, hands under shoulders. Here we go, guys. Tricep push-ups. Find a spot out on the floor in front of you so you're not dropping your head or your gaze between your hands, keeping the neck nice and long, pushing up through the heels of the hands. This feels like a rest. 2, 1. All right, guys, from this position, I don't want your butt up here. Tuck it under. We're going to walk the hands out and in. If you're going onto your toes, keep this tuck and up onto your toes. Tuck those hips under and then back. 2, 3, 4. We really want to protect that lower back, engage the abs, engage that core. Walk them out, walk them back. A nice strong midsection. Keep those glutes engaged. All right, guys, well done. Grab a drink, 1 hand weight for the last round. So remember, side lunge, option to jump, step back and together. Here we go. Side lunge, option to jump, step straight back and together. If you don't want to jump, knee up, whoops, back and together. I think the jump's easier on the balance. You can also step back and together. So every time we're on one leg, We're just challenging our core. And of course, the standing leg. I catch my breath. Side lunge to your left. Back is up tall. Abs are engaged. Here we go. Down. Option to jump. Step back. Together. Also, guys, having one hand weight throws off your balance and makes your muscles work a little bit harder to stabilize you. So there is method in the one hand weight madness. Back, together. All right, guys, weight in your left hand. Leg circle, arm circle, down, together. Take it as slow as you like. Up and over, down, together. Keep that shoulder back. Don't hunch it. Around, down, together. Only 5 more exercises after this. Let's go, guys. Let's do it one more time. Down, together. Okay. I'm going to catch my breath. Weight in your right hand, right leg is going to do the circles. Here we go. Around, down, and together. I'll try not to hit my mic this time. So make sure with interval training, you're not going over 90% of your max if you can help it. You don't need to. It doesn't feel good. All right, I'm going to sneak out of one. Sorry, guys. Small V. Right leg comes back. Option to either rest it on the ground, lift it, or squeeze using your right glute cheek. Here we go. So if you're keeping your foot on the floor, it's just there for balance. No weight. You can lift it or squeeze using this right glute. Put your hand on it if you like. Feel it engage as it lifts that back leg. 2, 1. All right, guys. But don't compromise the integrity of the curtsy. Come down as far as you can, in and out of that curtsy. Here we go. Down, tricep extension. Lift that back foot or squeeze it up. Put your hand on that glute and feel it engage if we're doing the squeezing option. Let's go, guys. We are on the home stretch. 2, 1. Okay. Woo. Weight over your left shoulder. You're going to come down next to your right hip and back up. I'm going to take it slow and get my heart rate to come down because we're on the final 2 exercises. Feel free to pick up the pace if you like. I'm really driving this weight next to my hip. My knees coming up to the opposite corner of the room. I'm working my abs. You're working your abs, you're working your legs, you're working your arms. Last exercise, guys. So over your right shoulder, next to your left hip. Here we go. Nice and slow and deliberate. Pick up the pace if you like. Just getting that heart rate to come down. Last exercise of the day. Happy days. Let's go. And then a nice long stretch. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And done. Well done, guys. Grab your mat. Right leg in front, left leg behind. Press through this left hip. Tap into it. Breathe into it. You want to make sure you've rolled forward so you're not on the kneecap. Left arm comes up. Catch it with the right. Push back against it. Let's open up that shoulder. Let's breathe into that shoulder. Bring the heart rate down. Left arm comes up and over your head. Catch it with the right. Turn it into a tricep stretch. And if you like, very gently, lean over towards the right side of your body. Very gently. Come back to center. Now rock back with the straight leg in your right leg and keep the foot flexed. And very easy, very gently, pivot forward with a flat back just as far as you're comfortable. Tap into that right hamstring. Breathe into it. All right, guys, let's switch legs. Left leg forward, rock forward, push through that hip. Make sure you're not up on that kneecap. Breathe into it, tap into it, into that right hip. Right arm comes up, catch it with the left, and push back against it. And let's open up that right shoulder and breathe into it. All right, right arm comes up, catch it with the left, tricep stretch, And very gently, if you like, lean over the left side of the body, just until you feel the stretch engage. Back to center. Okay, push back. Ooh, straight leg on the left leg now with the foot flexed. And breathe into this hamstring. Tap into it. All right, guys, a nice wide stance. I want you to stretch over one side of the body and walk the hands to the other side. Walk the hands to the middle. Keep the knees bent and scooch the feet in towards each other. Keep those knees bent. Now slowly, slowly, slowly with bent knees, come up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Roll the arms back. Roll the arms forward. Shoulders up and back. And shoulders up and forward if that's all you've got time for. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you've got a few more seconds, let's keep stretching. You know I always run over on the stretches. Let's stretch out one quad. Try and keep the knees close together. You don't want the legs out here. And continue to push gently through the hip of whatever leg you're stretching as you're pulling back with the hand, switching sides. So you want the knees to be nice and close together, pushing through the hip. Holding on if you need to, like me. All right, guys, a nice wide stance. Reaching up and over the body and looking under the armpit. Stretching out one side of the body. Let's switch sides. Up and over the other side of the body. Let the supporting arm run down the side of the leg. Looking up under the armpit just as far as you're comfortable. It's not a competition how far we can go. Okay, back to center. Pull down on those arms. Let's give them a little bit more of a stretch. And guys, give yourself a big round of applause. Awesome job today. You get points just for showing up. And remember, if you're tired and you don't feel like working out, just turn up, do the warm up, just do one round, just do 4 minutes. If you feel like it, do the next round and do another 4 minutes and then call it a day. 4 minutes is absolutely better than doing nothing at all. And most of the time, if I don't feel like working out, I'll say to myself, I'll just do 4 minutes. Typically, I'll do 8 and then I'll cool down and I won't beat myself up. I'll be happy that I just turned up and laced up my shoes. So guys, drink plenty of water, eat a lot of protein in close proximity to working out, at least 25 grams of protein, steer clear of sugars, and enjoy the rest of your day.